Thank you, Max, for the introduction. My name is Kun. I'm from Douyin Digital. Douyin Digital is a China-focused B2B digital marketing agency. We specialized in helping international companies to enter China. Today's my topic is what makes Douyin the new battlefield for B2B companies. China digital market has been Baidu dominated. It makes sense because Baidu, with these keywords which you can get the user's purchase intent, has been working very well for lead generation. But since 2019, situation has been changed. A lot of traffic has been moved from Baidu to WeChat, Toutiao, and Douyin. WeChat obviously got the most of traffic. It has more than 1.2 billion users. And Toutiao got the third, about 0.3 billion, and Douyin 0.5 billion users. So the reason we choose Douyin is obviously it has a large user base and it still keep growing. Secondly, the cost per click on Douyin ads is much lower than Baidu or WeChat. And thirdly, it has very low competition in B2B front. And lastly, Douyin as a video platform, it offers user much better user experience, and also for marketer, a new angle to display the benefits of their products or services. But there is a misconcept that Douyin is for B2C. People going on Douyin is looking for fun, not for serious conversation for business. That could sound reasonable, but with Douyin's artificial intelligence, probably everybody knows TikToks has been so addictive. People spend hours and hours on TikTok watching silly videos. Well, from the positive side, that the AI is working very well by recommending the right content to the right people. And Douyin ads is actually being powered by the same AI, which means it goes to recommend the right video ads to the right audience. And secondly, its advertising is on what they call the OCPC model, which allows a marketer to pay the acquisition instead of pay for clicks or impressions. That's definitely the dream of as a lead generator from the B2B advertising department. So if you log into the Douyin advertising backend, you will see clearly that you can bid for a conversion instead of clicks or impressions. But you don't get that stage at the very beginning because the OCPC means optimization cost per click. It sounds mouthful, but it's actually the de facto cost per acquisition mode by Douyin ads. So for a new advertiser just on board on Douyin ads, you have to start with stage one. Stage one means you have to feed AI with enough data so they can build up the model. To do that, you have to set up the bidding of the traditional cost per click. So say that's also easy to start with because for any marketer who has experience of running search ads, they know how much they pay for click on Baidu or Google. Then they may benchmark to do the similar way on Douyin. So let's say you set up a cost per click, which is $1, and you run for a certain amount of time to get 20 leads. So by the time you got 20 leads, you can do the calculation about how much you actually pay for one lead. That is cost per acquisition. And the AI will run the same calculation. And with that in mind, let's say you manage to pay on stage one, you're actually paying $35 for one lead. And then you can move to stage two. Obviously, you can set up a objective which is lower than the stage one you are paying for. Say you're going to set up pricing of conversion for one lead, cost per acquisition is $30 instead of $35. And the AI will take over and run with that. So this is how in real life looks like. We have this horizontal axis, which is timeline based on week units. Then we have the left vertical axis, which is cost per acquisition. Then we have the right vertical axis, which is amount of conversions. So you can see the blue line, which is acquisition cost, has been very dynamic until week 6. That's clearly the line between stage 1 and stage 2. So in stage 1, AI is still testing and your acquisition cost is up and down. But once you are enter the stage 2, the cost per acquisition will be reduced tremendously. That's one. And secondly, we have the blue, the red line, which is has been very low in stage 1, but it's growing up once it enters stage 2. But it's still not as good as on this period of week 15, because by that time we have seen the number of leads has been tripled compared to the week 7 to week 14. So that period of time basically shows the AI also, even within the stage 2, it also has another round of test and a scale up stage. So once you receive that amount of leads, the platform will try to recommending as many leads as possible to as many right people as they feel comfortable with. So based on this experience, you can definitely see whatever you have done on search engine marketing won't help on Douyin, because on SEM, user targeting is so important. You have to look into the demographic of your users, the search term they were using, and a geolocation they are from. And you actually build up your account structure with that. And then, of course, you optimize those around those as well. But on Douyin, that's definitely not the case. User targeting is useless. We have tried to build up the account the same way as we do on SEM, but and it didn't work out. Just putting that in your hand, we try to separate the targeting audience of 20 million users into 20 groups, and each one has 2 million users or 1 million users. And by doing that, we actually build up fans on AI. So AI wouldn't be able to test as many people as possible. And that's actually what we should have done. We should let the AI test as many different types of people with different attributes or taggings. Then they can see which group of people actually be more interested in clicks your ads and convert. So targeting at the initial stage is useless. Let's not do it. Secondly, on SEM, keywords bidding is so important. We look into the keywords match types, We look into the negative keywords. We look into the keywords that's actually converting, so we can bid higher, and the keywords which consume a lot of spending but are not converted, we can reduce. So all of these are the key to win on search engine marketing. But on Douyin, keywords is irrelevant, even though it has targeting, it has search behavior, but we don't even bother to look into those. As we see, the key to win on Douyin is the stage 1 to stage 2, the OCPC. So that makes the units of optimization is ads, the video itself. So what we need to do is keep looking at which video, which ads is getting impressions, clicks, and conversions, and measure their performance of cost per acquisition. So whichever is winning with a lower cost per acquisition, we should spend more money, and we should also copy that kind of ads, create more variation to win. And thirdly, the life cycle of ad copy on SEM is very long. We're talking about 3 or 6 months. We may look into another round of ad copy revamp. That also depends on the click-through rate. If the click-through rate is great, let's not bother with that. But on Douyin, ad copy is so important, or their lifespan is so short. If we don't see any or not much impressions or clicks, let alone the number of conversions, these ad copy or these videos are dead already. So we are going to create a new list of new video or new ads. That's also the reason if you log into our client's Douyin backend, you will see hundreds of ads being there. Of course, a lot of them are basically inactive. So that makes the key units on Douyin ads is ads or video. However, on SEM is keywords. So let me give you an example how it looks like on the real life. We have run these ads with the client called X-Rite, which is an international color measurement device provider. They came to us because they have the same problem as we mentioned. They are underspending on Baidu, and they want to find a new channel to expand their advertising and also generate some more leads. So what we did was set them up on Douyin ads, and just for being there, we already make an instant win, because firstly, Douyin was encouraging brands to set up their company account and set up their ads accounts. So it will give you a new account a lot of visibility and traffic. Secondly, the competition was low in their vertical. Not that many competitors realized that Douyin itself could be advertising or lead generation avenue. So being there, we've seen our leads has been growing from 10 per month to nearly 80 per month, which is a great performance that has been lasted for about 10 months. Until October 2020, we've seen the performance going down. And by looking at the data, we realize the video or the ads was filled with branded video or products demonstration or products promotional content. These are starting to lose appeal to our target audience. So what we did was starting from April and May, we're starting to shoot another series of video by getting the people, real people in front of camera. I mean, the real people who are working for the company in front of camera, getting the product manager, getting the engineer, industry solution manager in front of camera, and produce process demonstration video, application usage video in front of camera, and tell the story of each industry. And that one actually can really get the appeal of our targeting audience to engage with us. From then, May, June, we definitely see the leads has been rebound back to 30 or 40 plus. So the key takeaway of this presentation is Douyin, even though everyone considers it for fun, but it's actually a great channel to generate B2B leads if you know how to use their advertising platform. Secondly, for B2B company, being on Douyin itself is already an instant win because of a lot of competitors didn't realize that because of the misconception. Thirdly, if you want to make yourself successful, you need to get people who know how the AI, how the OCPC model works, instead of getting the SEM agency specialist to work on that, because it works differently, quite differently from the search engine marketing. Fourthly, in the long run, if you see your ad is losing appealing, losing performance, you need to think like a content creator, trying to create new video, find more new angles to shoot, to add more creativity into your video, instead of thinking like a data analyst. Okay, which target audience we should target, what data can tell us. Because AI can definitely run better data analysis than human in this case. All we need to do is be more creative and try to create new sets of video to feed the AI. And lastly, you may think Douyin is for China only. I don't need to really worry about it, but TikTok is the international version of Douyin. And we have seen TikTok has been adopted a lot of Douyin features, which has been proved successful in China, then it migrate to other countries. So like the TikTok e-commerce launched in September, that has been done in Douyin in last year. So I'm sure the advertising platform is going to be replicated on TikTok. So getting to learn those features will definitely help you guys to succeeding in APAC. So if you want to know more about TikTok or Douyin ads, you can visit those links in these slides. And if you want to know more about Jademon, what we do, you can go to this link for download. Thank you very much.